There is an invisible force quietly robbing your future self. It's not a rival. It's not an emergency. It is the tyranny of the trivial. The hundreds of small, meaningless decisions you make before noon, from what to wear to which email to open, are stealthily draining your energy. You feel a pervasive sense of overwhelm or inexplicable mental fog by midday. You find yourself procrastinating on crucial tasks later in the afternoon. This isn't laziness, it's the cumulative cost of continuous decision-making. It's what I call the cognitive tax. This silent burden quietly sabotages your best intentions and steals your focus. But what if you could reclaim your mental freedom and effortlessly steer your future self towards consistent, meaningful action? Today, I will share a powerful strategy to free your mind and automate your success. The constant demands of modern life chip away at our finite mental resources. This phenomenon is known as decision fatigue, a well-documented psychological state. Every choice, no matter how small, depletes our willpower and cognitive reserves. It's why presidents wear the same suit, where CEOs delegate minor daily decisions. Our brains, like muscles, simply get tired from continuous exertion. Psychologists refer to this as ego depletion, a finite pool of mental energy. This means by afternoon, your capacity for sound judgment is significantly reduced. This daily accumulation of the cognitive tax diminishes our crucial executive functions. It makes us susceptible to impulse buys, poor food choices, or outright inaction. We get trapped in the paralysis of choice, unable to move forward on anything. Fortunately, there's an elegant solution rooted in behavioral economics: pre-commitment. Pre-commitment is about making critical decisions in advance when your mind is fresh. It involves creating constraints or structures that bind your future self to a chosen path. This powerful strategy effectively bypasses willpower depletion and reduces cognitive load. It allows your present self to align your future self with your highest intentions. As Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman observed, a general law of least effort applies to cognitive as well as physical exertion. The law asserts that if there are several ways of achieving the same goal, people will eventually gravitate to the least demanding course of action. Pre-commitment strategically makes the desired action the path of least resistance. Charles Duhigg in The Power of Habit highlights how habits are choices that we deliberately made at some point and then stopped thinking about but continue doing. This perfectly encapsulates the automation power of pre-commitment. Let's explore some practical examples of how to apply pre-commitment. You can automate your savings by setting up recurring transfers to investment accounts. Schedule your workouts for the entire week on Sunday night, making them non-negotiable. Prepare healthy meals in advance or use subscription services to eliminate daily food decisions. Establish strict digital detox rules, setting specific times for email or social media checks. For complex projects, define your first 2 key tasks the day before they're due. This clears your mental runway and ensures immediate, focused action the next morning. The author, James Clear, wisely states, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." Pre-commitment builds robust, self-sustaining systems for your success. It frees up your mental energy for truly important tasks demanding creative thought. It enhances consistency, dramatically reduces overwhelm, and fosters deep, meaningful work. Cal Newport, a champion of focused productivity, warns us that to simply wait until you feel motivated to do important creative work will lead to a lot of waiting. Pre-commitment ensures you are not waiting. You are proactively creating your desired future. You gain significant, sustainable progress without relying on fleeting willpower. So let's recap the profound journey we've taken together today. We've uncovered the insidious drain of the cognitive tax on our daily lives, and we've unveiled the liberating power of the pre-commitment strategy. This principle empowers you to regain control over your precious mental landscape. Imagine a future where trivial daily choices no longer exhaust your willpower. A future where your most important goals are consistently pursued with effortless focus. You become an individual experiencing a new level of sustainable, effortless productivity. My challenge to you is simple, yet incredibly transformative. Identify just one area in your life where you feel the pinch of daily decisions. Perhaps it's your morning routine or your post-work activity choices. Apply the principle of pre-commitment today to that single area. Set your future self up for immediate success, alleviating the cognitive tax. Embrace the power of pre-commitment to live a life of profound clarity and intentionality. Start building the automated systems that effortlessly drive your deepest aspirations.